All right. What up? It's your boy Trixx, and you're tuned into We Love Hip Hop. We all love hip hop. Proper hip hop. Not this nonsense. Eh? Come on. You are telling me Taylor Swift is hip hop. Then you're stupid. And that's fucking bars, bro. What up? It's your boy Trixx, and you're tuned into We Love Hip Hop. We all love hip hop.
Yes.
Yo, I love it. I love
right, it's been a minute, you know.
I know.
Right, I feel like I haven't seen you. I feel like I haven't seen you since like Bounce was guanin', bro.
No.
That long, bro.
Wow.
I'll tell you straight up. The last time we seen each other, I was emceeing at a club, and I got off the mic for a second, and some next youth got on, and he was just trashing up the mic, and you were sitting at the bar by yourself. Yeah. You're like, yo, fam, please get back on the mic, dog, please.
Oh yeah. Yo, I remember that. Because it was just a regular party, and you were guanin', like it was just vibes, and then this I don't know what possessed that youth to get on the mic. He wasn't even talking with the music, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a style to MCing, and this guy was just like, yo, the mad dab. You know what I mean? We're just out here with mad bitches, bro.
Alcohol.
Like, on the mic, bro.
Alcohol. He had courage.
Yeah, rum. Sometimes rum tells you
yeah, man.
one thing, vodka tells you another thing.
So for the people who are just tuning in right now, we got Trixx, world-renowned comedian, personality.
He's experienced the wilderness. I'm from Africa. I've experienced enough. Come on, bro. You need to be one with me. Talking about world-renowned.
Well, to us.
I mean, they know me in Saskatchewan, fam.
Yo, this guy don't kill me, man.
You got me dying.
Large out there, you know what I mean?
They know me in Saskatchewan, fam.
I'm just gonna let you know, Saskatchewan's gonna be a dope province when they finish it. You know what I mean?
Don't come for us, Saskatchewan. Okay, don't come
it's
for
all
us.
love.
We got
Saskatchewan's. I love Saskatchewan. No disrespect. I mean, you could hate me for saying it. I mess with Saskatoon. Not really. No diss, but Saskatoon's live.
Yeah. Well,
Saskatoon is.
You're right now, because last time we seen each other was 2014, but since then you're out there out west now too. You're in Edmonton now?
Last time we saw each other, life was normal, fam. Like I could go outside without a mask. I mean, last time I saw you, a black man putting on a mask walking into Walmart was a bad decision.
Yes.
Walking into a bank, let alone Walmart.
No, they're telling us we have to wear masks, bro. That's how long it's been, bro.
Now they're making a mask. Yeah, so like what city are you in? Like specifically?
Edmonton.
You're in Edmonton, eh?
Right now, Edmonton. Yeah, Edmonton.
That's perfect. Because we've been doing an Edmonton thing.
It's an Edmonton takeover thing. Shoot.
Who's from Edmonton here?
Oh, no. We are a couple of our guests, our past guests this week, or last week, should I say. We're all from Edmonton.
Who else did you guys have on here from Edmonton?
We had Money Mitch and DBX 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to meet these people because I don't know where the black people are here.
And then on the other show, 6 Views T.O. Uncut, we got Dizzy the Don, a.k.a. 3 the Don
okay.
as well.
Okay.
You know him?
And I got my pops and my sister out there, non-rappers.
Oh, word.
You know what I'm saying?
I just got back to, I just finished the 14-day quarantine because, when you come back from the States, you gotta quarantine for 14 days. So
Did they check up on you?
Not once.
Wow.
Not once.
Interesting.
Which is crazy because they put the fear of God in you at the border. You know what I mean? Like at the border, they're like, listen, if you leave, it's like a 3 years in jail, up to $1 million fine. They put the fear of God in you, like they scare you, and then it's like you got to make sure you're home when we call. Blah blah. Nobody called me once, bro.
Really?
Once.
You know what's gonna happen, right? It's like this. You know what this is, Guts? This is like when you're on house arrest or a curfew, and you're 3 months into your house arrest and your curfew, and the boy them don't come check you once, and then you know what? I'm not gonna come home that night, and then you decide, you know what? I'm not going on time tonight, and then that's the night they decide to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm done my quarantine, so they can.
No, of course. So they're gonna come. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. 2 weeks
I
from now,
stayed.
they'll knock your door. They'll be like,
I know how Canada stays, so I made sure I did the 14 days, just no problem. So, because you know how it goes, the day you decide to go out, be like, yeah, they're not gonna check.
That's exactly it.
So let me just do the 14 days. And the 14 days was soft because you had basketball all day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basketball was running all day. That takes you right up into the nighttime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a soft 14 days, to be honest.
So
a light 14 days, eh?
Yeah, man.
So
it really wasn't that.
You say you're coming back from the States. So were you doing a gig out there? And what's poppin'?
Last month I was out there. I was doing a run. And then some clubs kind of had to like reschedule because while I was out there, spikes. So some of the clubs were like, okay, we're going back to, some of the cities were like, we're going back to phase 1, like Vegas, for example. Vegas went back to phase 1 while I was there.
Wow.
So I lost that gig. And Vegas is a very different place when you tell motherfuckers they can't have alcohol, bro. You know what I mean? Like Vegas changes when you take away alcohol from them. So I lost that gig, but I was still out there because I had to do Phoenix, OKC. I was back to back. And I had to stay in Phoenix because then I had Minnesota the week after. Wow. So I couldn't come back to Canada because if I came back to Canada, then I got a quarantine for 14 days. I can't get back into from Minnesota. So I pretty much had to like bomb it out in Vegas for the week. Luckily I'm good out there in terms of like staying places or whatever.
Yeah.
Luckily I had to stay there and then go do Minnesota. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've never wanted to leave America the way I wanted to leave.
That crazy.
And that's not even a diss to America. It's more like they really, it's no joke when I say like they don't really care. The way how Canada has, the way how we looked out for each other from COVID, and the way now places are opening up here and we're able to go out and drink and do whatever, bro, it's not like that over there.
It's crazy.
It's not like that. Like we actually care. Like Canadians were scared. You know what I mean? Like we were scared when so Americans aren't scared. They're like, yo, why do I gotta wear a mask? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's not real. How they move. And they're so entitled out there. They're like, yo, I'm not wearing a mask. You know, these are my rights. It's like, bro.
So
put on a mask, bro.
Quick question.
Sorry, Freddie. Oh.
Quick, okay. Okay, let me just jump in here quick.
Yeah, you go.
With the things that you were doing out there, right? The run, right? Just to clear that up, that's like basically doing a tour for comedians, right?
It was pretty much a tour, yeah. Like it was 1 week I was in one city doing, because there are clubs that are open. There are clubs that are open because there are cities in the States that are like us. They're kind of open to an extent. They got their phases, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was doing like, for example, Arizona, even though they had like the most cases, the comedy club was still open there.
Full capacity?
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Okay, not at full capacity, no, like maybe half the capacity is in there.
That's what
what's that, 100, 200 people still?
So that maybe 100 could come in there, right? And then OKC was the same thing. Half the capacity could come in there. So we were having obviously we were having small shows because obviously there are people who are scared they're not going to come out. But there are still people there and we still had good shows or whatever.
So were the shows like stretched out over 2 nights or just one show and done? Like they were just smaller?
One a night for the week. One a night for the week. You know
okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
You start Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, depending on how the club does their thing. You go from Thursday to Sunday. Friday, Saturday is usually 2 shows a night.
Okay.
And so we had good shows. You know, it was dope. You know, there are people who come out and they can still be careful and kind of have some kind of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You wear your mask. When you're sitting down at your table, you take your mask off, drink, and talk with your people.
Yeah.
Because they're all from the same, you know what I mean? So it was still cool. It wasn't crazy, but I'm just talking about like when we were going to like Walmarts and grocery stores and seeing people complain about wearing masks and they're coughing on produce. You're like, that's how they're moving out in America.
Wow. Dirt Jack.
Gutsy, what you had a question?
So do you feel like they're reopening stuff too quick, in your opinion?
I mean, you know what, man? I think in some cities, yes. I think with Vegas in particular, right? Obviously, Vegas is like dependent on casinos. You know what I mean? So they're thinking about their money. But you also have to understand that Vegas, you're getting different parts of the states coming there.
Everybody's traveling to Vegas.
So then how are you gonna be shocked up at the spikes? If you got states that all are the number one, like you got Texas, Arizona, two of the highest places that have cases. They're all coming to Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To escape the foolishness. Not to mention all America is coming there. Especially when the places, and they're offering you it at cheap rates, like hotels on the strip were like $30.
Yeah, but they need the money.
Because they want to get you there, right? So that's for me. I think some places opened up early, but I also understand why. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the unemployment situation in Nevada and people trying to get their unemployment checks, it's rough for them out there. Like it's sticky for them. Like we get $2,000 a month. Canadians are laughing.
Yeah.
But in America,
this shit got hacked.
Yeah, they get like one stimulus check and they got to hold that for this whole time. So
$1,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
Bullshit. And you know what I mean? It's different for them. So
I imagine that here.
You know what I'm saying? So I get why they're so quick to open. You know, we're Canadians. We could afford to kind of open slowly because we have systems in place to take care of our own. Hence the $2,000 a month. And there's other things that they're giving, like grants for artists. And there's so much money that they're dispersing.
Yeah.
If you know where to look.
And we follow the rules.
That too, like Edmonton, we were open, bro. Edmonton was open before I left. Edmonton was pretty much open before July. I was getting haircuts in June.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, it was
Yo,
open
why
here.
you flexing on people, bro?
We're open because we followed the rules, bro. Like we just did what we were told, and then slowly we open. Like they open slowly here. So, you know, now you got because you can't tell white people they can't leave without sun. You know, Edmonton only gets sun. You know, 2 months out of the year we get sun all year. You know what I mean? So soon as you see sun, white people are like, you're not gonna tell me I can't go to Banff and camp. You crazy?
Yo, this guy.
I said Banff.
No, but be real. Tell white people they can't go
truth,
camp.
though. No, it's the truth, bro. I got my trailer, bud. Let's do this.
You know, like Hercs, you know Western Canada. Your folks are here. Western Canada is different from Toronto because Toronto, you guys get your full summer. It's hot from June to August. In Edmonton, you're lucky if you catch hot July and August. You know what I mean? You're lucky if you're catching any sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister complains about it.
Yeah, it gets cold here quick. So as soon as white people see sun here, they're out. March, it's easy to tell these guys to stay inside because nobody wants to face this kind of winter. It's a different winter here. You know what I mean? It's not hard for us to stay inside in March, April. But as soon as we saw sun in May, like guys like, I don't fucking care if I get it. I don't fucking care if I get it.
I'm risking it.
Yeah.
I'm going out there. I'm going to Jasper, bro. I don't fucking care. You should have heard these guys.
I could imagine.
So let me ask you also with your stand-up, right? Now you're out there, you're doing your thing. I seen on your Instagram, November 2019 was your first headline.
Oh, at the club here. Yeah. Headline here. Headline at this.
Yeah.
It wasn't my first headline. It was my first headline here.
Okay. So what was that experience like? Well, actually, your first headline in Edmonton. What about Toronto, where you're originally from?
Oh, I headlined Toronto early in my career.
What was the
Toronto's
first time
home.
like?
Yeah, like Toronto's home. So I adapted to Toronto quicker than any other city.
Yeah, and you got your start here.
Toronto birthed me, and then Vegas kind of prepped me for the rest of America. You know what I mean? So it's Toronto and Vegas is like responsible for my.
So what was the first Vegas show like?
Yeah. It was part of a competition. It was called the World Series of Comedy. It's like 101 comics.
Oh,
and I had never been to Vegas. And that's when I learned that America is a different place in terms of performing, because every walk of life is in Vegas. So you can't perform like you perform in Toronto, Vegas. You know what I mean? Because America's, they don't really, see with Canada, we're more diverse. And I think we're more cultured. So in Toronto, I can do jokes about Jamaicans and Trinis and Guyanese people and African people, because we got different walks of life in Toronto and different parts of Canada. But in America, white, black, Mexican. That's all they know. Unless you go to like New York or certain places that have Jamaicans there or different cities there.
Really, you notice that's what it is, eh? Jamaicans are there. When there's Jamaicans there, shit gets a little different.
The culture, though, like in New York, the Puerto Ricans, the Jamaicans, they're the culture of New York, if you think about it. So you could go there and you could kind of give a little Caribbean vibe, because the Caribbean vibe is there. But like there's parts in America, you're not getting no Caribbeans in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to, even certain parts of like Texas, bro. Like, you'd be very shocked how much they don't know about.
Yeah.
There are people who are fascinated with the fact that we got snow, bro.
You guys live in igloos?
No, but I've been asked that, Hercs. You know what I mean? Like, I've been asked that, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'd be very surprised how, I'm not saying Americans are dumb. I got love for my Americans, but they're not as cultured as we are. And I strongly believe that. They don't have, it's just white, black, Mexican to that. You know what I mean? So even when I was talking about a Filipino one time, one redneck was like, "What the hell is a Filipina?" They're like, "Wow, bro, you don't know that?"
Wow.
So
is that one of them domestics?
Bro, that sounds like, I don't know what Europe that's. You could. What's a Filipino? I don't know what Europe that is.
Oh man, yeah, no, that's crazy. Just that like white, black, and wow.
Yo, you know how many Americans are shocked that there are black people in Canada? Yeah. Because when they introduce me to the stage and they go, "Yo, this guy comes from Canada," and then I get up on stage, I literally heard a white woman go, "I thought they said he was from Canada." Like, no, they don't know. Like, you'd be surprised how many. There are guys, they don't even know that there are rappers, bro. Like,
you thought
that's crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
No. Even before Drake got big, bro, and like even the time when Cardinal was bubbling.
Yeah.
When he was, even then they were like, "Yo, so I mean, I just heard of Cardinal, but like you guys rap in Canada?" I'm like, "Bro, like we're attached to you guys. You know that, right? Like, we're not such a far off planet, bro. Like, why you guys acting like?" Do you know what I mean?
It's a piece of road that separates us. Like, come on, like,
dog. If I could walk,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, stop it, bro.
Cross
like,
it.
I mean, we're attached, but the way you'd be surprised. Like, they don't really know.
The ignorance. Yeah.
And all these men that came from Toronto, how they're exposing Toronto to the Americans. That's very simple.
So how's your preparation for shows? Because you must have a different preparation. Because just like you said, like when Canada, everybody's multicultural. Then you go to the States, like
I'm an observant comic. That's always been my style. My style is observation. So observation is universal. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm watching Portland just run through the Lakers. Anyway.
Ooh,
run through them.
Damien.
Run through them. See?
Really quick, shout out Orlando. Shout out Orlando today.
See? All these number ones getting work. Why? Because they were rampant at the end of the restart. They're rampant because they clinched number one seed. They thought they were gonna just into play.
They're not hungry.
Yeah, well, they need to get.
There's no hunger.
Anyway, my preparation is simple. It's just observation, really. Observation is universal. So, that's where you take your skills as a DJ, because DJ you have to learn, especially Toronto. We had to learn how to read the crowd. That's how Toronto DJs were taught. You had to learn how to read the crowd, or mans are walking off that dance floor, girls are walking off that dance floor quick. If you don't play properly and play in proper sequence. So I just learned how to read the crowd for DJ.
Yeah, the DJ also can save the club from getting shot up if he's doing it right.
Mm-hmm. That's facts though. But you'd be surprised, like all those tricks you could bring into comedy, because it teaches you how to read a room.
So when you say observation, right? So you obviously have set some jokes that you already have written down, set that you draw from, or you just You go in the room and you just freestyle, like, you know, like.
Sometimes off the top. I do have set jokes. And I can watch the room and go, okay, I know I'm not going to do. Like if I'm in a room full of old people, I'm obviously not going to talk about social media. You know what I mean? Like the standard things. And then you know what sequence of jokes you're going to do because this is the type of room you're dealing with. Yeah. If it's an all black room, I know how to.
You can get away with whatever you can get away with.
All white room, I have mainstream jokes. Do you know what I mean? When I'm in Toronto, I can kind of be more myself because I'm from there. I can talk more about the stuff that we know because I'm from there. It's just different. So it's just a matter of reading the room and just being prepared. That's why you got to watch the shows. A lot of these comics, when they're headlining, they don't watch the shows. They sit in the green room, you know, like they're superstars, and then they come out and they tell jokes and they don't even know what was said, you know.
Prior,
They don't know nothing about the show. They didn't really look at the crowd, so they just come out and they think because of who they are, they can just say whatever. But I just study the room first. That's just me. Every show.
That's a jewel right there.
Yeah. And even like you mentioned DJing, and I've met you back in the days from Project Bounce times, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even a comic then.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a comedian.
You were like emceeing and DJing those times, or were you just emceeing and the DJing was done?
I was more emceeing than doing the radio. DJing kind of came after, really kind of after Project Bounce.
Okay.
You know, like towards the end of Project Bounce, then I started to DJ more. Because when I was at Project Bounce, I didn't really have to DJ. When I was in Ill Kids, I didn't have to DJ. You know, so I did that.
Shout out Ill Kids.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ill Kids. They're the ones that, you know, they put me on the, they put
That's an old school name. I haven't heard that one in a minute.
Okay. They're the ones that introduced me. They're the ones that gave me the confidence kind of to not be afraid of crowds. You know? Because Kids always played like the dope and hip hop parties.
So when did you decide you're gonna say, you know what, DJing is cool, but this comedy thing, I can really work this comedy?
Yeah.
When I was in Ill Kids. So when I left Ill Kids, that's why I left Ill Kids. It's because I wanted to take on comedy full time. And, they understood. And then, it took maybe another year or two before I really started doing it. So when they saw that I was doing it for real, they're like, oh, okay. Because, I've always been a funny guy on the mic. I always used to say stupid shit on the mic all the time and have the crowd laughing. And even I remember Juice would be like, yo, you gotta do comedy, man. So you kind of say they kind of pushed me to it a little bit, in a way.
Yeah. Shout out to the Ill Kids, yo. We check out our interview that there's an interview that I did with Ricochet on our channel.
Ricochet's still working, bro.
Yeah, Juice. What? Yeah.
Last year I was with Ricochet in Vegas, and he got to. It's interesting when we're both at different phases of our lives. You know what I mean? He's a dad, and then he's also DJing now. He's touring with certain artists. Ricky's kind of keeping the Ill Kid name alive.
Yeah.
He's out there, bro. Ricky's out there, man.
Yeah, he does do big things.
He does. Ricochet is he's like the pulse right now.
Definitely. How did you come up with the Kofi concept?
Hey, this woman, we are in Black History Month, and you are in bed with a white man, eh? Refurbished donkey. Shame on your face. How long did this telewaka even last for you?
20 seconds.
Hey, come on.
That's good, man. Chalet started. First of all, his name wasn't even Chalet. His name was Kofi. You remember that?
I didn't even know the name was Chalet or Kofi, and I just thought that was what you were saying. It was just like Chalet. I was gonna ask you where that came from too.
Chalet. Well, Chalet means basically it's just like when it's equivalent to you going, homie, brethren, my nigga. That's Chalet. That's what Chalet means. So it was just that just started with me imitating my father. That's who Chalet is. It's just me imitating my dad. So I just ran with that on Instagram. Just started little skits here and there.
Are you on Rich Kids? You're Rich Kids' uncle on the album?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Uncle Taj,
the drunk uncle? You are my favorite. Don't tell nobody. Yo, That skit right there. Oh
Rick,
man,
Rick,
yeah.
Rich Kid was like, "Yo, let's come do that on that."
Yo, that
because
like
he basically he was showing, love to his uncle.
mhm.
But we all Ghanaian people, we all have that guy in our family that sounds like Charlie, like drunk, rude, no filter, says the most outlandish things, but makes you laugh while he does it. So that was easy. I was like, okay, I'm going to imitate my dad, who just happens to be your uncle. All right, no problem. That's what it is.
Well, it worked. It worked for me, man.
He knows.
Yeah.
Rich Kid knows about Chalet. He knows about all that. So does JD Era. The man, they all know, bro.
Yeah, and Kofi's my name too, right? That's a Ghanaian name, right? So
yeah,
that's why when I first heard that, I was like listening to the radio, and I'm like, this motherfucker just say my name? Holy shit!
Well, the fans it used to be Kofi, and then the fans just kept calling him Chalet. So
it's a stuck.
Sometimes the fans, sometimes the fan dictate it for you, man.
They make the decision.
And
when I drove you home one time, long time ago, I drove you back to Malton.
Yeah.
Right?
This guy's digging deep into the vault, eh?
Hey. Oh, that's a hard drive, bro. Did you drive? Was it in the Hummer you drove in?
No. I think it was the black Jeep that I used to drive back in the days.
Albar drove in the Hummer, bro.
The AWOL drives. The AWOL times. So like, talking about Friday AWOL times?
Back them times, you know what I'm saying? But like the Malton life, that's where you grew up and shit?
Yeah, for the most part. Like I was born in Finch, like Weston and Finch. But I don't claim Weston and Finch because I moved from there like when I was 3. And my whole life was in Malton from that. So I grew up in Malton and then moved to Toronto when I wanted to pursue this. Moved to Toronto and then moved from Toronto to Edmonton.
Oh, wow. Give me a Malton story.
So how long you been in Edmonton now?
How
long you been? Sorry, Freddie.
Before you get to Edmonton, I want to stay on Malton for a quick second. How long? Give me a Malton kid story, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Malton, it's known as a kind of a rough area. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, some people they make fun of it, but I think we got rough areas all over Toronto. Malton had its moments. I don't think it was known as a rough area. There was definitely elements there that, obviously there are certain mans that you couldn't fuck with. I think you could say about almost any area. But rough areas were like areas that were known were like Regent Park and like the Jane Strip. These are, or even Scarborough. Those are places that are known rough areas. But Malton wasn't a rough area. It just had people there. There were elements. So.
Yeah.
So Rexdale, which was attached to us, that was the rough area. Do you know what I mean? Rexdale was the rough area. And I'm not dissing Malton because there were definitely killers in Malton. There were. They were just there. But I don't consider Malton like a rough
area. Yeah. Sorry, Herc, I didn't.
No, I just wanted to know how long you've been in Edmonton now.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Holy.
I was supposed to move to Vegas, then COVID happened.
Yeah, see, that's like when COVID. So how did COVID affected your move to Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, I had the spot was there, boxes were packed, ready to go, and then COVID hit. Things started shutting down. Landlord wanted to move his mom into the spot to look after his mom. Can't argue with him there.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing sucked, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? So, but it was a blessing in disguise because I would much rather quarantine here anyway.
Yeah.
Much. So things work out for whatever. Things happen for a reason.
I was watching TV one day, back when Much Music used to be a thing. Video and Trial pops on, and then I see Trixx. I'm like, holy shit, Trixx is on Video on Trial.
I wouldn't care. Pink could hold up whatever she wants as long as I get to look at her ass.
Oh my God.
I was the token black guy. Was a token black.
Token black guy.
Yes, you know, Much Music was mad racist. But, yeah, bro. Like they didn't pay me the same as the white comedians got paid. Facts.
Whoa.
Oh, there you go. Well, hey, yo, they were boarded up the first couple of weeks of COVID. Don't forget that. They were boarded shut. Like they were waiting for riots to come kick down their door. Like they swore people were gonna riot in the streets.
I mean, Much Music. I mean, Video on Chart definitely helped my DJ persona.
Yeah.
Because again, when I was at Video on Chart, I wasn't even a comic yet. I wasn't a comedian, so it helped. It definitely helped.
That's interesting.
And then when I became a comic, probably like maybe I became a comic during Video on Chart.
Yeah, because that was all comics on the panel.
Yeah, it didn't start that way.
Yeah.
It didn't start that way. The first maybe 2-3 seasons, it was people in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So they had maybe 2 comics so that you could have some, you know, comic relief. Then they would have like a video director. Sometimes they had artists.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have VJs too, like the VJs, I believe.
They had different people, and then after a while, the comedians kind of took it over. So it was just us because we were the funny of the show, and then they just kept rewarding the white comics.
Wow.
All the Video on Chart tours were them, never me.
Wow.
So total, how many black comics were involved in that?
I mean, I was the token one.
So it was just you mainly.
Every now and then they bring in another black guy.
They brought maybe like a 1-2 females, like a black girl. I know they brought one black girl. My homegirl was on there one time.
I was the main one. I was the main guy. The main
crazy. So they say they paid you less than the white people?
Yeah, there were some of them that got like mad raises. And then when it came to me, and how I found out is there was a producer who I was filling in the paperwork, and I guess the producer just didn't know. So he's like, "Oh, so I assume you get what the other guys get." I'm like, "What the other guys get? I'm assuming got the same thing."
Yeah.
And then he had to double check, and then it was like, "Okay, no, you get this." I'm like, "Oh, word."
Oh. So what are the other guys getting?
They're getting like maybe $400, $500 more than I was.
Wow. That was crazy.
And they were They moved mucky. There was even times where they would take like things that I said, and then they wouldn't air it that I said it. They give the joke to other.
Wow.
Oh, that's how they were moving.
They moved mucky. Sometimes there was one time they invited all of the white comics to the Much Music Awards, and not us, but the other guys.
Yeah.
And they used to move. Like that.
The real comic relief.
Wow, that's mucky. Man.
Part of the journey, bro.
Yeah.
So would you be? I guess would you be here for a reboot of Much Music if they do it obviously the right way? Probably, yeah.
The thing is, I would do it, but now that I am who I am now, there's definitely certain things that I wouldn't have tried because comedians only took that shit for them because we felt we needed that. This was a major show. It was the most popular show on that station at one point. Mm-hmm. So we felt that we needed that shit. So we took their bullshit. But now, I don't really need Video on Chart, to be honest. So if it's a thing where we need you on it, I would say, sure, I'll do it, but certain things.
This is my rate.
Yeah, first of all, they can't pay me less than anybody else. It's either we're all getting the same pay, or I'm not doing it. That's one. And two, I want to say my jokes.
Even that's crazy right there. The fact that you know for a fact that they're getting paid more for you, and they're stealing your jokes. I'm saying I know you know for a fact. I said, and they're stealing your jokes. That's like crazy, and the fact that they're just doing it so nonchalant, like we can get away with it.
No, the white comics weren't stealing my jokes. What I'm saying,
I'm saying they're chopping it up to make it look like.
Yeah, but the comics had no idea. They had no idea. It was almost, to them, it's like a suggestion from the producer. You see what I'm saying? So the comics didn't know.
Yeah, okay, so let me say that. I'm not saying, I don't want to say the comics were stealing your jokes, but
they didn't know.
Okay, but it was just the producers, basically.
Yeah.
That's mucky. That's real mucky.
They moved mad mucky.
I mean, technically still is stealing. I mean, you probably don't take it like that, but still is stealing your jokes. I mean, if a man tells you to go in and take somebody, you don't know, but you're still. I hear what you're saying, but you know,
because it's like if somebody comes to you, like if you're a rapper, and someone goes, "Yo, you should say the line like this," right? And you didn't know that. Oh, I just stole it from one of Drake's notebooks. You don't know that. Yeah. It just appears like a suggestion. Did you steal Drake's shit? You didn't steal Drake's shit. How would you have known? Unless I told you, I got this from Drake, and you still took it, then that's different.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know,
true.
I can't call you a thief.
That's a good breakdown right there. That's a good. Yeah. I like that.
I wish somebody gave me his
there. So why the move to Calgary? Or Edmonton, I mean.
I needed something different. Edmonton, it presented itself like there's uncharted territory that I didn't tap into here. And look what happened when I moved here.
Yeah.
Like I moved here, I did one chalet video and that blew up.
Listen to Donald Trump and try to grab Mother Nature's vagina without permission. Donald Trump said he wants to build a wall. Well, build a wall around the sky. What is winter doing here early?
And then that changed my social media completely.
Is there a big guy in it?
Not really.
No. Yeah, that's the word.
It just happened to snow in October.
Yeah. Timing, eh?
It snowed early one day, and I took advantage of that. Yeah. Exactly what happened.
So, like, you mentioned social media, which is perfect because, like, you're on the grind on social media. You're doing the videos. Like,
trying, bro.
When did that start? Like, when did that pop off? Was it, you started, because was it seeing the other social media comedians doing their thing, or were you like, yo, let me just get into this, like, now? And
no, I mean, it was partially yes, but, like, it was also, like, I was doing it from before, right? I was doing this when I was living in Toronto. You know what I mean? Charlie was there in Toronto. It's just Toronto doesn't pay attention until they have to. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's Toronto. So, Charlie, here's the funny thing. The video that popped me off was the snow video in Edmonton. It snowed in October. And I was talking about it. You want to hear a funny story about that? I did that same video when I was visiting Edmonton. It was snowing in April. I did that same video in front of the same building, and it did nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. The minute I moved to Edmonton, I did the same video, and now Donald Trump's running for president. I throw that shit in there, and all of a sudden it's a big deal, and it went viral. The point of the story is, when I was in Toronto, I was doing chalet for a long time, bro. Chalet was on my Instagram constantly. I was doing that shit with Scandal. When Scandal was the show, I was doing where Chalet was talking to Olivia Pope on the phone constantly. So that was the skit all the time. Yeah. No one cared. No one. Soon as I left.
Boom.
That's the city for you.
Screwface capital, fam.
As soon as I left. I'm talking month one of being in Edmonton.
So what possessed you to do the same exact video in front of the same building? Is now that you just because you moved there, or it's just
no? It was just snow. It snowed. It was snowing on ridiculous like days.
Yeah,
I've never seen snow in October ever. You know what I mean? So I was like, I was mad. Video, and then that's the video that popped up. Yo, Lakers are almost down by 20 points.
Yeah. Rah, 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 rah. I like that.
31-17. 31-17.
This guy's giving us the breakdown at the same time, the play-by-play. Okay, last couple questions. And I'm just going to go a little bit left for a second, okay? Because I know Edmonton has a little bit of an issue going on with the violence, as well as what maybe not as crazy as what we got over here, but you all definitely got the issues going on over there, right?
What do you mean?
Like, they got the gang violence that goes on in Edmonton, and I know you hear about the shit that goes on here.
There is, but it's like, it's like tucked away in a certain part of the city, so it's not as I won't say as mainstream as Toronto's. It happens here, but a lot of shit swept under the rug here.
Right, but as a Toronto man, and I know you see the stuff through your social media or maybe through news.
Toronto, that shit's. We watch Toronto radio.
Yeah.
Toronto news here. Do you know what I mean? Like, why am I watching Toronto news in Edmonton?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Why is CP24 here? You understand what I'm saying? So there's Edmonton news here. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying there's no gang elements here.
Yeah.
Again, it's not as mainstream as Toronto. A lot of shit gets swept under the rug.
As an old school Toronto man, what do you think that we could do to bring the shit down over here so that we're not popping up on the news? You guys are watching us like TV.
Toronto?
Yeah, like what can we, like I feel your perspective is important because you've lived here for a long time, bro.
It just comes down to making smarter moves, right? Like as we get older, you start to realize that there are certain things that are really just not worth drama. Some of the men that used to be gangsters back in my time, they're not fathers now, right? They got something to live for now, right? They have kids. They got, you know what I mean? They're family men. Some of these guys.
Yeah.
Some of them left that life alone, and now they have like legit jobs and they're family men. So it's all about, for me personally, it's like just knowing what's important and what's worth fighting, what's worth making noise for, or what's worth losing your life for. Like. It just comes down to individual common sense. Is it really worth warring somebody these days when people are so quick to pop off with guns? Is it really worth it? Right? Like we're here trying to get white people to look at us as equals. Yeah, we don't look at ourselves as equals. I'm ready to done a man for a certain amount of money. I'm ready to done a man for weed or drugs. You understand? And it's just knowing what's important to you. It really just comes down to choices. Yeah. I can't tell a man how to live his life, and I can't judge men who come from that life. I don't know people's lives, so I'm not in a position to be like, put on the gun. I don't know your life. I don't know what area or what circumstances you deal with on a regular basis. I don't know why you have to carry the gun. Do you know what I mean? But it really just comes down to choices. Really. I personally choose not to live that life. But that's me. But I can't speak for other men because I don't know your circumstances. I don't know what you go through. You know what I mean?
That's 100.
Yeah. That's some free jewelry from Trixx.
Have you had any upcoming comedians come to you for advice?
Oh yeah. I've had females and males that are just starting out, hit me up, just hit you up on the gram, just hoping you respond. And I've always said that if I ever get a chance to help like young comics not make some of the dumb moves that I made sometimes, I would definitely help. But I always give advice.
What's one dumb move that you did that you wouldn't want a new comedian to follow?
Wearing your heart on your sleeve. Because if I was the guy I was now versus back then, that whole flow moment would have been very different.
Flow 93.5.
And it would have been more calculated. It would have had more of a message. It wouldn't have been angry and venomous. It would have been more attack it properly with a message to the point where even flow I would have to respect. You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been a thing for views on social media. It wouldn't have been that.
Can you explain that? Because maybe some people don't know what that was.
When I got fired from Flow, I was wrong from Flow when I worked there. They accused me of something that I didn't do without any evidence. So now, when you're accused of stealing, when you work at a corporation, if they think you're stealing, what they're supposed to do is suspend you. Right, you get suspended while they look at footage.
Do the investigation or whatever.
Investigation. And if they don't find anything, either they bring you back or however they want to handle it, how they handle it. But they have to investigate first. And if they find stuff, then they can fire you and charge you, whatever it is. They fired me before they looked at cameras. How I know this is while I'm at home, people that are friends with me in Flow are like, yeah, they're looking at cameras. They didn't find anything, but that wasn't what really bothered me. What bothered me was I go into Much Music to film an episode of Video on Trial, and I got executives from Much Music coming to me going, yeah, man, we heard what happened at Flow. and you took all these things, and I'm like, okay, now once you start livelihood without evidence, that's where I draw the line. If you want to fire me on some bullshit, fine. But once you start to mess with my livelihood outside your building, I have a problem with you. Yeah. So I went. So one day I went on stage at Yuck Yucks, and it was a fuck flow rant.
Oh shit!
And it's still on YouTube to this day. Flow rant, which was
you see me pulling up right now.
Somebody was filming it in the room.
Somebody. How about everybody?
Once you start going.
Because they had never heard of that before. Like this Friday, this is before Instagram. This is before Instagram was even a thing. Mm-hmm. This is when we only had Facebook. This is when YouTube was the thing. Do you see what I'm saying? This is when MSN Messenger was the thing.
Wow.
So they had never seen a guy get up on stage and start trashing the main radio station and calling people out by name. Like I went after people by name. And some people I shouldn't even have called their name. But when you're in a drive-by, you don't stop and pick who you're gonna shoot.
The man said when you're in a drive-by, yo, hold on, Charlie, bars.
That's fucking bars. Bro.
That's the name of that episode.
So,
are you sure you're not a rapper?
Album coming
So I said names, and me and those people are cool now, but I said names that I shouldn't have said. But again, it was just me, Vex, on stage. Nobody knew I was going to do it, including the show. They had no clue.
Just Lego the clip on them.
So I just said what I had to say. I went off, and then whatever backlash came from it, and I don't regret it. The only reason I regret it, the only things that I regret is if I was the guy now, it would have been a way more calculative attack. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it, but it would have been done properly. You understand?
So, okay, with this whole thing, the moment after you walked off stage and you're now backstage with fellow comedians, and what was that like? What was their fit?
Everybody was like, I can't believe what we just heard. Like, I was calling out girls who were fucking raptors. I didn't give a shit, bro.
Wow.
Like, I was just so mad. And I remember Christopher Michaels, who was a DJ at the time, he was in the room, and he knew I wasn't coming after him. He's probably one of the few people that knew I was going to do it. And he was just sitting there like, I can't wait.
Just waiting.
Because I said things that you couldn't say to your boss. Like, say you work there. You can't say that to your boss, but here I am saying everything that all the employees ever wanted to say. How I said it for you. I mean, because I don't work with them, so I didn't care.
Wow.
You know what happened? They blacklisted me. I mean, they did everything. They tried getting me off of shows. Stylist Awards, when Stylist Awards wanted to advertise, they would try to convince Stylist Awards to kick me off, and it was ridiculous.
Wow.
The Stylist Awards, I remember them things. That was big back in the day.
So, but again, it's all learning experiences, you know what I mean? Like, it's all part of the journey. It all makes up who I am now.
Facts.
Yeah. You have to go through those things. I had to make those dumb moves. So when I talk to comedians now, one of the advices I tell comedians is, to have fucking fun, bro. Everybody thinks you're going to get famous tomorrow, bro. That's not how this works. This is a marathon, bro. You know what I mean? Just run the race and just be prepared for when your time comes, because the longer you do something, the better you get at it. So as soon as you get to that point where now success is looking for you, you're ready. But in the process, just have fun. Have fun being on stage. Russell Peters didn't bust till 20 years into his career. Put that in perspective. In perspective. You know what I mean? 20 years, bro, before that guy became a millionaire. So don't think you're going to get famous tomorrow. I mean, that happens for some of these Instagram guys or social media guys, but they're fly-by-night guys. You want to be Dave Chappelle? Or do you want to be the guy who, you get 1 million followers and you do two shows for a year and then we don't hear from you again? Who do you want to be? Yeah. You want to be timeless or you want to be now?
Yeah. More free jewelry from Trixx, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trixx is giving you the whole jewelry store right now. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna pick up my computer and walk to the door because groceries arrive still. You know, so we get groceries delivered.
Yeah. Touchless delivery. What is it? Yeah, that's it. Your drop-off zone.
Nice.
Yeah, no grocery store, bro.
One thing I always want to know with comedians: do you guys have comedian groupies? And what are they like if so?
You know me, man. That's why people used to think I was weird because I keep the groupie stories to myself a lot of times. I don't really brag. I don't know, man. Maybe it was my high school, man. I was taught I don't brag on pussy. I don't. I think it's so fucking corny. And I hate groupies. Hate them. I hate people that just like you because they think your status elevates them. I hate groupies. Hate them. So I don't have many groupie stories, but they exist. Bro. They exist, especially the ones that
at you.
Me personally,
as a comedian, like how does a groupie come at comedians?
Before I became popular on social media and I was just a regular comic, they didn't really check for me because I was local. When you're accessible, they don't check for you. I'm sure Dred can tell you the same thing. When we see you every day in Toronto, if I go to Eaton Center and see you, you're accessible, right? They don't check for you. It's when you leave. They can't see you too much. And the moves they're seeing you make are online. So now they're seeing all these moves. Creates illusion in your head. Then you get a blue tick beside your name. And all of a sudden, it creates more of an illusion to these people. Now they don't see you as much, but all they hear is, Trixx is in Vegas. Trixx is in England. Trixx is in Jamaica. Trixx is in Germany. Trixx is in Switzerland. And they start hearing all these things, and then they create this illusion and perception of you in their head. Then they come to you. Then they look at the shows you do. Now I'm opening for Chappelle, or I'm opening for Cedric the Entertainer. Oh my God, Trixx is big time now. I've had girls come to me going like, honestly, I've had girls diss me to my face, and then years later, be like, you know what? I don't know, man. I was young, and then, I'm dead ass. And be like, yo, honestly, like you're doing your thing, Trixx. We should go for a drink sometime. We go for the drink.
She's paying though. She's paying. She's paying for it.
She paying.
I don't do fake. I want to do fake. There's preloaded credit cards for that. I don't need fake, bro. Like I hate that shit. I think that's so fucking corny, bro. I hate that shit. The things, or when you have things, like for example, remember Project Boss? Project Boss, I used to get groupies a lot because, Albar made me the guy. At one point, I was the guy at Project.
You're the voice.
Friday, you knew.
Yeah, I was every day. Every night.
I was all the shows. So who do you think people came to when they needed concert tickets? Bro, when we did Mobb Deep. Remember when Mobb Deep first time in Canada 10 years? Remember that shit?
Yep.
Bruh. The things people ask you for when they think you have it is amazing. Is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Perception. It's all about perception. That's why with some of Drake's lyrics, I feel what he says when he admits that he actually faked it a lot till he made it. You know what I mean? He goes, I know I exaggerated things, but now I got it like that. That's one of his realest bars because it's facts. Perception that people create in their head for you is hilarious. Hilarious. Didn't you see my Instagram story where I Googled myself one time and Google somehow says my net worth is 5 million? Nigga, I net 5 million. 5 million, bro.
Send me where's the bank statements? Where's this access to this 5 million?
You have this back pay, bro.
Yeah, where's it at? Send it on.
Send that money, bro. Because that is not my net worth, bro. I promise you that's not my net worth, bro.
Wait, Trixx checked his account? Like, is that right?
Hold on.
Right. Let me explain something to you. You know how I got verified on Twitter? I'm not even making this up. I must have hit Twitter up how many times, bro, to be verified. I didn't meet qualifications once. Drake comes to Edmonton, shouts me out at a concert, bro, that I was at. Shouts me out at a concert. I'm backstage with him. Took a picture, me and him. Post the picture. Check mark on Twitter. That is
Instagram said yep. And yeah, your net worth in 2020 is 1 million to 5 million, by the way. So,
Where?
Hey.
Where?
Send on the check.
Where? Because begging for money doesn't count as net worth, bro.
No, can you see it?
I saw that. Yeah, I posted that.
I don't know if you can see.
Okay.
Well, Friday can do the. Friday can do the
I took a screenshot one time and I put that in the story, fam. I was like, bro, when, bro?
Where are these checks? Please tell me.
Somebody, maybe sound scanners. I don't know. Maybe there's a rapper named Trixx, fam. I don't know. It's not me.
No, it's the comedian. It's the comedian. It's the comedian.
That's
yo, quick question. Do you think like Toronto could have like a hood movie, like a comedy movie? Because we never had. Because we've been having like the Life of the Dot and Push, like we're having little things out there. But do you think we can have that like? Good comedy movie like Friday?
Yo, I think Toronto could have anything we want. I don't think people underestimate what Toronto does for the entertainment world. Canada has bred some of the best before Drake. Look at the movies. Where do you think where did Mike Myers come from?
Yep.
Where does Jim Carrey come from? Where does Bryan Adams come from? You know what I mean? Like, where does Dave Foster come from? The man who wrote half of these white hits that your parents slow dance to at weddings. Who wrote that shit? A Canadian man. We birthed a lot of shit, man. And I don't think
basketball.
Come on, man. Toronto, the realm of Toronto. If people knew how talented our city was, bro, and what comes from our city, it's just put his crabs in a bucket. We could have a dope movie there, but it's a crab in a bucket because everybody wants to be the Drake. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be the Division. Everybody wants to be Drake. Nobody wants to be Party Next Door. And that's not me dissing them. That's just my point. They want to be the guy.
You want to be the
they
biggest.
don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to be the guys who look at what Division and Party Next Door have been able to parlay with their affiliation to OVO. Now they're kind of doing things over here on their own.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it's just take your talent, you take the help that somebody's given you and parlay that into a career of your own. You don't have to be the guy. And then when you get to a certain level, pass that knowledge on to somebody and then just elevate everyone. But nobody thinks like that. Everybody wants to be the guy. Everybody wants to be the guy that we all look up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super rare to find somebody who thinks like that. So
I said, if I ever get like on some Kevin Hart shit, I want to do an OVO fest of comedy. That's my dream.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's like my dream because I think what OVO fest does is so fucking important. It's so dope what Drake was doing.
Yeah.
In terms of creating this festival where you go and you don't know who's coming out. Like that excitement, the fact that a Toronto artist can do that and has the power to do something like that. First year you're bringing out Jay-Z and Eminem. That was just so ill for the city. I go, imagine if we did a comedy version of that. I come out, I'm the host. I got the comedians that I advertise, but then Eddie Murphy walks out one year.
This is a little crazy.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's raw.
Fam, that's my dream. And it was almost gonna come to life because, the Mandem and OVO, they love comedy, bro. Yeah. I remember we were talking to, P. Rain and the man. P. Rain comes to all the comedy shows. P. Rain's right there in the front row with the Mandem. And shout out to Pre, man, because he's a supporter of comedy. And he was like, yo, fam, I want to do a comedy show. But them man, they're busy. They got things to do.
Mad shit going on.
So I always said, if I ever made that money, bro, if I ever made even if it was $100,000, and I had that, I would invest in doing an OVO fest for just comedy.
That'd be dope.
It has to be in Toronto. It has to be Toronto for me.
Yo, so a quick question. What about this Cat Williams 5-minute thing just now with the clown hair? Did you see this?
I saw a picture of it. I didn't see the clip, but I saw a picture of it.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't that funny anyways?
I mean, Guy Williams is one of those guys where you're like, I mean, I don't know what happened with him. He's funny to me, but
no, he's funny. But from what I've seen of that clip, I don't think it was meant to be funny. But because he came out with the rainbow hair and things, so I thought he was gonna go in on the lace front youth. But
he probably just did that because he knew motherfuckers are gonna talk, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I respect, man. Like, yo, one of the dopest moments for me when you're sitting down with Dave Chappelle and you're just kind of picking his brain a little bit. So I don't want to fanboy. You're sitting beside your hero, trying to ask him certain questions, just to, even if it's a little bit of knowledge on how to approach this shit. And that guy is a reminder that, yo, man, you got to enjoy this shit. He does not act rich. That nigga doesn't walk around like there's no security around him. He's rich as fuck. There's no security around him. It's just him and his people, like Donnell, Rollins, Ashbury, a couple other guys. And it's just jokes and laughter. Sometimes Cardinals with him. You know? Laughter and joking and just enjoying your life. This guy pulls out one of those pill speakers and then just starts bumping hip hop off his phone and shit. He's just like, he's so 90s. You know what I mean? Like, he's so old school with it. And he's just a reminder. I watch him, I'm like, yo, this guy's just having fun with his life. He's just enjoying life. Yeah. He's not talking down to nobody. He's not like, he doesn't know who I am. I'm a small man for that guy. But he's just like, yo, man, you do comedy too? Where are you from? And I'm like, Toronto. Oh, you know my man Cardinal? That's one of my favorite rappers. Like, that's so fucking dope. Biggest comic.
That is dope.
One of your favorite rappers is one of our own. So fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So with everything that you got going on, and like even with the pandemic and post-pandemic, what's your plans for the next level? What do you got going on next?
Right now, got all my paper situation for the States situated, which is dope because I didn't think we were going to be able to situate that shit during Trump's administration. I mean, Trump doesn't like foreigners getting papers to work in his country. So I was a little concerned, but papers are straight now. An agency's ready to sign me. COVID happened. COVID put a halt to a lot of things, but once this shit's done, once we get somewhat back to normal, it's just the agency signing me and just touring the States consistently, even more than ever. Just consistent, and getting in front of people that may not have seen me or don't know who I am. We start working with certain comments that haven't seen or know who I am, and just connecting with different people, and television, bro. Figuring out whether it's writing for a show. I don't care if I write for the show or something.
What about Netflix?
We all want a Netflix special, bro. You know what I mean? And one of the things I did was I did a GoFundMe, and I raised enough money to shoot a special. So I'm gonna shoot it with the money that I raised,
with the intent to just shop it,
and just shop it. And you're more likely to get on Netflix that way because they don't lose nothing. If it's a good special, you already covered the main part of it. Like, you shot it, you got the venue, you did all the work, you edited it yourself. Just put it up. They buy it from you, you work on a deal or whatever. I don't know how it works, but you work on a deal or whatever. Then you get your Netflix special. That's how a lot of comics are. They just shoot it themselves.
Yeah. So. Well, listen, bro. We really appreciate you doing this with us, dog. You know what I'm saying?
No, thanks. Sorry I was late, bro. I was like, I hope the man will think I was dissing.
No. But I was telling him there's a time difference, so I hope we got the right times, right?
Well, what is it? 10 o'clock over where you guys are now?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock over here, so it's still daylight over here, man.
Well, listen, bro.
Yeah, it's dark out here now.
We got a lot.
It's dark.
We got to get, I feel, the full breakdown, the full history, and where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So
trying, bro.
This was really important for us to be able to get this, especially with you. You know what I'm saying? To me, I don't know for the rest of y'all, but to me, I feel like you're the top comic in the game right now for Canada.
I appreciate it. I mean, I want to get paid like them now.
I feel that sentiment.
It's easy to say that, but money talks. If you know,
Yeah.
if you don't got nothing to show for it, then it's kind of hard to say that.
Well, I would say give the people your social medias.
Yeah, comedian Trixx.
Yeah, I feel like you're very easy to find.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hard to find at all. But comedian Trixx, 2 X's, on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. I don't got TikTok. That shit. I'm not. Nah, bro, that's too much. Every day trying to lip sync and do dumb shit just to get your attention. I could do that on Instagram.
Trump wants to sell that shit to Microsoft, anyways.
Right.
That's it.
Anything that Trump is coming for can't be in good shape. So find me on Instagram, man. Chalet's there.
Chalet bars.
Entertain you as much as you can. And my website with all my merch. I got bar shirts, chalet shirts, tank top for the ladies, all that. Trixxcomedy.com. Get your hoodies, shirts, all that is on there.
Dope, nice. Dope. Well, thank you once again. You know what I'm saying? We got the legendary and soon to be more legendary comedian Trixx in the building.
One day, brother, we will take it.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.